The backing gameplay for this video is a 17, 1, and 11 off-roll game I had in Grandmaster Challenger ELO. Improving at League of Legends is one of the hardest challenges I've ever had to face. It's such a weird cycle to be a part of. You win lane often, you solo kill your lane opponent, you take the tower first, but for some reason it feels like there's always teammates to hold you back and you only win 50% of your games. So why do you see high elo players or pros fly through your elo with 80+% win rates? Improvement at a traditional skill like playing an instrument is typically very linear. You learn to read music, learn about your instrument, and then you put in the reps to master your craft. League isn't as linear for improvement. In an ever-changing game that is so deep and involves so many variables like rune, champion, team comp, and summoner spell combinations, it can be extremely hard to find out where or why you're lacking as a player. While there are these inconsistent variables within the game, there are also some consistent ones too, which leads me to the point on how I gained 400 LP in 3 days. Reflecting back, I think I always had the potential to improve, and I knew I could play at a higher level, but my perspective on the game held me back. My inconsistency was probably the biggest thing I struggled with. I played the game with too much emotion and way too much ego. As humans, we're very subject to letting our emotion dictate our actions in a subjective way. For example, if you've had a bad day in the sense of results, relationships, or experiences, coming home and jumping into a game of solo queue will oftentimes yield a less than favourable outcome. All it'll take is one bad play, one mistake, or one player typing in the chat to heighten your emotion and affect your gameplay, and not in a good way. This is often how loss streaks happen too. 1 loss might make you upset, 2 losses makes you frustrated, 3 losses makes you angry, and the game seems to fall further and further out of your control. Your mood and perception becomes worse and worse in a compounding fashion, and all you want to do is gain that lost LP back but end up making things irrecoverable. Whenever I get into a negative state of mind in regard to the game, all I want to do is kill enemy champions, and I often forget the basic rules of the game. This neglect often actually has the opposite effect I want it to, all because I'm letting my emotion control how I view and play the game. After a 3-month rut of floating between a 49 and 51% win rate at 100 to 300 LP, I sought out coaching from my good friend and pro player SKLOS. We live coached 2 games, one of which I was against MSI player and challenger top laner Biopanther. I played Riven into his Jace. With some oversight from Alois, the lane was pretty easy and I got a heavy advantage early. About midway through the lane, I suggested going for a kill. Alois pulled me up on this idea and immediately told me I needed to break my kill mentality. He said, why would we go for a flip kill here that could go wrong and get him back into the game instead of basing, spending our gold and getting a kill in 2 minutes that we 100% know has no way of going wrong. This perspective itself is something I had been missing and I've been actively thinking of while I play the game now, yielding great results. Playing to the residing rules within the game, playing objectively and with a clear mind have helped me win games that I know I would have lost in the past. You should always play to make the least mistakes possible. I think everyone knows how League works and what to do or what not to do, but we often fall into traps of undisciplined and egotistical gameplay leading to bad habits and inconsistency in our playing habits. Your playstyle habits are directly related to the things we repeatedly do in-game, which often unfortunately are the wrong things, because we tend to do the play that feels the best and not the play that is objectively the best. This is literally what overplaying is so much of the time. How often have you taken Baron, wiped the enemy team, taken an inhibitor, but then died in the enemy base because you just didn't leave after the inhib? This happens every second game and is purely an ego or for fun play. You cannot ever tell me that this is the right play compared to basing and spending gold, 5 team members alive and pressuring a side lane with sync tempo. I guess what I'm trying to say is observe old habits and break the ones that are holding you back, just like I had to do with my kill mentality. Breaking that habit was what solely led me to jump in LP. Games just seemed to open up for me and opportunities were everywhere. When I said to Alois I wanted to go for that flip kill and he pulled me up on it, I saw an opportunity to go for a kill that was more risk than reward. His proposal was literally all reward with no risk, just be patient. Furthermore, don't force plays. Every single player makes mistakes. Keep playing correctly and consistently until the enemy missteps. No game of League of Legends has ever been played perfectly in the history of the game, and usually the path to the enemy nexus is forged by the team that makes fewer mistakes. Farm well, play your lane to the best of your ability, minimize deaths, manage your wave, keep your experience income high, rotate to objectives, and your rank will change. Best of luck on your climb. If you enjoy this type of educational content, be sure to leave a like and a sub as I make stuff like this very often. Thanks for watching.